Prior to the late 1950s and early 1960s, there was an area of Dothan, Alabama that was mostly inhabited by African Americans, known as the Southside, but was also referred to as Frogtown. It was a community made up of residential homes, churches, a school, a few businesses, but mostly the lives and livelihoods of many of the black people in Dothan. It was a close-knit community comprised of families, poverty, as well as prosperity. There were many things that could be done without leaving the neighborhood. You could go to church, shop at a store, grow your own food, go to school, or go out on the weekend and have a good time at the White Horse. Some of the residents lived in nice homes, while others lived in houses that were substandard with no electricity, no inside plumbing. Some had outdoor toilets, outhouses. Many of them would be described as run-down shacks. Most of them were located on dusty dirt roads. Little known to the residents of Southside, a major change was about to take place, which they would have little or no input into what was about to transpire. It was the beginning of what is known as urban renewal. From 1949 to 1974, the U.S. government underwrote the program known as urban renewal, the planned redevelopment and improvement of deteriorated urban areas, often involving demolishing old structures and constructing new ones. It also included the process of seizing and demolishing large swaths of private and public property for the purpose of modernizing and improving aging infrastructure. This program was implemented through a Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD grant and loan program. Much of the time, these projects split or destroyed black communities throughout the U.S. The Southside was no exception. All of its residents were forced to relocate. They didn't have a choice. Here's a former resident describing what it was like living on the South Side.
Living on the South Side, and where I know now, I couldn't go back that way. Because of the simple reason, you can sit in the house and count the chickens on the floor. At night, you can see the moon rising. But some people had light, some of them didn't. We the fortunate ones that we had lights, but also had an outdoor bathroom, but also had an indoor bathroom. And when we coming up, our parents and let us go outside and use the bathroom. They go out there. And one day I was sitting on the porch, about dark. I see my mama come around the house running. I said, "What's wrong with you?" "Oh, I ain't gonna tell you what happened. I feel a hand crawl across my hand." I said, "What you do?" I was out there in that bathroom. I said, "What you doing out there in that bathroom? You got one inside the house." "Well, you know how it is, son. You be used to that, so you know." I said, "I don't know. You tell me about it." She said, she started telling me about the old time and the good time when they were coming up. That's all they knew was the outdoor bathroom. I said, "What?" I started looking at them, kind of funny looking. I said, then it threw me off a loop. I said, "Whoa, man." I said, "What?" I said, "Y'all have mighty rough." She said, "Son, you just don't know. We have a time coming up." I said, "It couldn't have been no better time we had coming up now. Yeah, we're a little better now." I said to myself, when I get older, I don't want to live like this. And I thank the Lord brought me a long ways. This neighborhood is everybody got along just like sister and brother. Like community. Everybody knew one another. When we went to school over there on Southside, had a baseball field. So we get together, all of us, and play baseball till old man Hawk on the funeral home. They got a little league team up. Renaissance Club, AL Club. We had a pretty good baseball team then. Nobody couldn't beat us. We had to walk from Southside to Lane Community Center just to play baseball. Me, my cousin Booyah, Blue, Curly, Chip. On Southside, we didn't have nothing to do, but we gotta have a baseball team. On Sunday, we get back there practicing behind the school. We made it a field. It was back then, it was two white boys would come out there and play with us on Sunday evenings. They lived down on Dothan Street. So the school would have a fence separate us from the white folks. We played. They'd come out there and play with us. We treat them just like brothers. When I went to play at the high school, my senior year, we won the state champion. After I finished school, I went to Philadelphia. I was sitting in my living room with my grandmother. This dude from New Jersey called me, wanted to play in the East Orange League. So I played that for a while. Then I went joined the Natural Clown, the Negro League. I played with Satchel Paige. I played that a couple of years. Then I went to spring training for the Cincinnati Reds, and I made a team. And I played 2 or 3 years from down there, messed around. The little leg got hurt playing football, started giving me trouble. So I had to leave that alone. Then I come back to Dothan, and I played for the Dothan Tigers down there, played shortstop. Back then, when we were coming up, they didn't teach us the rule of baseball. All you gotta do is get a glove out there and go play. But when I got down there, I was so behind on a lot of stuff, I had to catch up. Back then in the 60s, and you had 2 or 3 straps against you. You gotta be way better than people you play with, especially coming out the South. Sometimes I be sitting in, you know what? I came a long way. And I said, I'm talking about, went from my daddy to teach me how to play. He taught me how to play. Southside to the major league was a whole lot different. My dad taught all of them how to play. I used to get out there, I was a small kid, I used to get out there and play. And on Southside, me and the fellas, my partner Blue and Curly, we used to get there and play on Southside, and I said to myself, somebody gonna make it at this group. I didn't know it was me. I just, everybody, that's all we know how to do, is play baseball. When I got to the Mountain League, they ain't called me by my first name, they called me Big Gil. We had different people from all over Brunswick. I enjoyed playing with them. They are really nice people to play with. I enjoyed living with them, making about $1,000 a month. There was plenty of money back then. Yeah, you know, I take care of mom, I send mom and them some, and I said, take the rest of it. We had about 4 or 5 staying in the house together, so we chipped in, paid the rent, water and light bill. So it was a time, man. I enjoyed it, but it's time. What Southside meant to us is a community. Everybody in the community got along together.
The south side of Dothan was a community that relied on each other, filled with people who worked together to make the most of their neighborhood, regardless of the circumstances that they faced. Many of the residents moved to the east side into a newer subdivision known as Lakeview, while some of the others moved into public housing. Whether you refer to it as Southside or Frogtown, it produced many fine, successful individuals, just like the one that you just saw. Today, the Southside is made up of homes mostly built in the 1960s and 70s. Many of them are now occupied by African Americans. Urban renewal may have taken away their homes, but it couldn't take away their spirit.